Well, welcome to the channel. Thank you for coming in. I'll just shift that. As many of you know, I'm an advocate against mummies boys, especially adult men who have been possibly groomed to be dependent on the mother, as the mother's dependent on them for supply, psychological supply. This is usually groomed. They can be use each other as drug dependents or alcohol or substance chemical abuse dependents to entwine each other. They'll share their substances and things, and this usually comes out of parents who have been in a transitional relationship where they can have somebody who allows them to have their addictions while they let them have their addictions, or it'll last for a while and then they'll turn on each other in the end. The child grows up in this, sees all this, ends up as the next generation getting past the baton. They'll usually be on drugs or alcohol or both, nicotine and all the usual destructive demonic stuff that the devil wants to use to kill us, this can end up consequential. I've seen many of these children die early through accidents, overdoses. You'll hear the mothers saying, I don't want to lose them, I don't want this, I don't want that. Yet the mother's usually the one that's encouraged it, given them the supply, frightened that they're going to be seen as not loving or this type of thing or all the other. It's all based on enmeshment, where the mother grooms the child to be psychologically attached, unattached, spiritually unattached. This gives her a sense of security, identity, and possibly makes her look like she's got some kind of stature in her world. But when you look at the adult children, in most cases, when they're over-reliant psychologically on the mother, they don't develop. There's always this infantile side to them where they're not going to individuate and separate. They'll always have this dependency, this emotional incestual dependency between each other. I've seen it too many times. I've been on the end of it a couple of times, and this is where sinfulness begins in many cases. We all are going to go into the realm of sinfulness and learn how to overcome that. But this kind of narcissism, as the psychologists might put it, particularly Professor Sam Vaknin, is where it begins, because the child doesn't separate and individuate from the mother, and the mother really doesn't want that either. They become, in a way, extra maternal. You have an extramarital situation where somebody becomes emotionally and possibly physically involved with somebody outside the marriage. Excuse me, viewers, but in this case it's extra maternal, where the mother has gone beyond the boundaries of parent-child and now has a little husband, someone she can groom and form. And what she'll do is she'll think she's seeing herself in that child, but she's actually abusing him. It can be the father with the daughter, it can be all different combinations. If you get with the son, you're going to end up having to compete with the mother, although at the start it'll all be roses. If you get with the mother, you're going to end up competing with the son, because at the start it'll all look like roses. But the bond between the two, the loyalty bind, or whatever you want to say or call it, will betray them, because they won't be able to cope seeing the person that they're enmeshed with being with somebody else, because they lose supply. This causes a sinful or narcissistic reaction inside them, and they begin to break down characteristically, and then in which case they'll start to sabotage or vandalize, as far as possible, the other person's relationship to get their supply back. that's a little bit on how covert emotional incest works. If you get involved in this kind of thing, the person that you're with, the enmeshed person that you're with, be it the child, adult child, or the parent, they'll put the effort in at first, and then when the trouble starts, they're going to have to isolate the situation. That could manifest in many different ways. Usually they'll eventually fall away with their behaviour, or they'll start doing things that will cause you to do a reverse discard on them, because they'd prefer to have the peace that they're used to, and to get that you need to go, or you need to tell them to go, so you get some peace, because you'll go into trauma as well, because you're having a relationship with somebody that's going to leave you void. They're using you for supply. This is where the narcissism comes into it, or the sinfulness. They're using you as supply. They're going back to their enmeshed family member to get on with their life with them, and they'll go to and fro until you wear out or they cause a reverse discard. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.